Hello, it's a first line day. We're in a new gate. We're in the first line of gate 33, which is the last gate of the quarter of civilization. Line 1 is called avoidance. The foundation of privacy is avoidance. This is the framework of the identity of the abstract person. Avoid everyone until you have reflected. And then you can share your remembrance. Then you can offer your witnessing. That's what this is about. Offering the witnessing, doing it correctly. In the exaltation, we have the wisdom in a weak position to recognize that survival demands complete withdrawal, retreating when one realizes that one is in a weak position. If you listen to the overview for gate 33, you will have heard that the weak position is the point where you have finished an experience, but you haven't yet reflected upon it. You don't really know what the experience you've had was all about. You haven't made sense out of it. This is telling us that until we have completed reflection, there's nothing to share, there's nothing to say. The 13th gate at the other side of this is the gate of the listener and the gate of secrets. It's very difficult for the 13th gate to ever release its secrets, but the 33rd gate is in the throat. And so it's always possible to release a secret or to share information or misinformation, come to that, before it's had a chance to reflect first, before it shares. Did you notice that word survival in the exaltation? It said the wisdom in a weak position to recognize that survival demands complete withdrawal. That's how important privacy is. To be private and have that opportunity to reflect. It's a question of survival for the psyche. This is one of the primary gates of aloneness. It's a very powerful gate of aloneness. Pulling away is the key to the nature of retreat. Retreat is there to build strength, and abstract strength is built through reflection. Without reflection, one can be a fool over and over again. It's okay to be a fool once. If you reflect on it and understand the nature of what you have experienced, you don't have to be a fool a second time. In the detriment, where courage is just plain foolishness, unable to retreat when overwhelmed by stimulation. This is speaking about reflecting. No, this is speaking, hold on a minute. This is speaking without reflecting. So I was trying to say, it's speaking without reflecting. So the reflecting doesn't necessarily make any sense. It just becomes babble. This is abstract circuitry. The gift of remembrance is to be able to make sense out of the past for the other. It's about sharing. So the other can really then get a picture and they can make sense out of it for themselves. And unless the reflection has taken place, then they are not equipped. They're going to be extremely subjective and they're not going to be clear. So this is also about a person who will not reflect, but who will jump to the next thing because they want to have that next experience. What we're seeing here is the pressure of the throat to speak. Oh, the throat is desperate to express, to manifest, get something out there. That's why the sort of not self question is, am I trying to be the star? Am I trying to attract attention by talking when I shouldn't talk, by sharing when I shouldn't share? Any throat gate that you have is always exerting pressure to speak, to work, to manifest, to operate, to do something. It's this pressure that so often leads to blurting. Gate 33, it's a stop codon, and stop codons are literally like the punctuation points at the end of a genetic expression. So 2 of these genetic stop codons are in the abstract process, in the throat. They're all in the throat. But we have the 56, which we looked at a couple of transits ago, and that is the idea that is complete once it has been expressed. and here in the 33. Once a reflection is complete, the process is over. The expression of the experience brings it to full cycle, brings it to closure. That third stop codon, by the way, is in an individual gate 12, just so your open head can stop thinking about that. We are grounded here in gate 19, and the first line is called interdependence. So interdependence and avoidance, I don't know, seem to be a bit sort of opposite each other, really. But perhaps if we reframed this and looked at it in the sort of no man is an island, so that even when gate 33 is in retreat, reflecting on its experiences, it still knows that they are not alone. And they still have the awareness that at some point they have to share their experiences with someone else. The moon is in the logical throat gate 16 still. And then it hops over to the other side of the body graph to the abstract throat gate 35. Does that at 1839. This is the gate of progress, the gate of change. This is where we are told that progress cannot exist in a vacuum and is dependent on interaction. Ties in with gate 19 rather well, doesn't it? Grounding 33 in there. So the 35 is always ready to engage in a new experience without thinking of the consequences, possibly without first informing. And this is a manifestor gate, so anyone who is impacted by that new experience, they should be informed first. And then the tribal gate 45 is next for the moon at 4:45 tomorrow morning. This is called gathering together. This is the gate of the gatherer, the ruler or the clan chief, who gathers all the experiences of the collective together in order to educate the tribe and ensure their success. And it's also a gathering together of resources and the guiding of others to manifest what is needed for their own survival, for their own prosperity, without sacrificing the interests of gate 45 themselves. Gate 45 doesn't want to do any work. They're great delegators, they're great teachers. You know, I want all of this for my tribe, but I don't want to do it for them. I want to teach them to do it for themselves. So this is gate 33 in the first line. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow for our line 2. And until then, go gently and take care.